I suddenly became aware of danger, and it seemed like there were signs of war. What frightened me was that there was a talk of a destructive weapon, and I heard this. They're looking in the wrong place. It's hidden. And so I was like I was catapulted hundreds of feet into the air, and I was above a large forest. Now, I think some of you even heard me say that. And it was like I was hovering above this massive forest. The color seemed dusty with hints of yellow and mustard. With hints of it's like mustard or yellow. It didn't seem like a normal forest. And this country contains something extremely dangerous. I was aware of the fact that as a prophet in this age, I was in a similar position as Elisha was when he started seeing and hearing the plans of the enemy. Why not today? Why would it only be applicable thousands of years ago? The word is alive, the same. Yes, Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Why not us? And therefore, I'm praying and pressing in for more, for something greater, that the gift of prophecy through the prophet and the prophetic people would not just be on the vein it has been, general prophecies. We have to be able to find where those kidnapped children are. We must be able to say, don't go to the psychics. Don't go to Long Island. I want you to come to the prophet. Come to the den to find out what is hidden. And I'm pressing in for it. That's why I'm fasting and praying for a higher degree, for a higher, above the natural, above that which we already have. And I truly believe that God is imparting that upon each one of you. So you'll be led by the Spirit. Angels don't necessarily have to guide you all the time. The Holy Spirit can guide you, but angels can also guide you to a place of great victory, where you can be transported, not physically, transported from your situation to another situation. That's possible. Anyway, the thing about it is that during this time, the sensations in my body were changing all the time. One minute I wanted to cry, one minute I wanted to laugh. I could feel these feelings. I was seeing too much at once to contain it. Now, you may be saying, well, why would God do that to you? Well, I loved it. You have no idea what it feels to have your soul whole and full. So full that it's overflowing. David said, he anoints my head with oil and my cup overflows. I understood that. It was overflowing. It was beautiful sensations in my body, my soul, my spirit, purity, power in one amalgamation. It was just amazing that I was sensing all of this, and yet I was saying, what for? And I heard children laughing and old people laughing like you've never heard in your life. I went to a higher place. I was hundreds of feet above a forest. Now I'm starting to realize that it's connected to what I'll tell you later on about Russia and what's going to come out of Russia. But then for a moment, I was completely in the dark. I need to explain this to you. I could feel something, but I couldn't see it. Now, when I say dark, I'm not talking about darkness as in sin. I was in the dark. I could not, I think God didn't want me to see it. Because I was like this, and my hand, and at one stage, I even told them to stop, whatever it was. And I tried to pull away because the inside of my hand began to burn. Now, this happened a few times until I cried out, no more. I couldn't handle any more of this. It seemed like something burning in my hand. Now, I became aware of, here's where I want you to listen to me about that, because many prophetic teachers are teaching that it's the end of the world now. And I've stood with what I believed and what I felt the Lord revealed to me, that it's not quite the end yet. It's the end of times, but the end of time. It's the end times, but the end of time. So there's still something God has planned huge. But I became aware of extreme heat and danger. My body was overwhelmed by it was like radiance and fire. And fear struck me for the first time. And that's when I said, it's okay. Because it's almost like I was trying to tell somebody that was in this vision. But fear struck me for the first time. Was this nuclear? Was this atomic? What was this that I was feeling? Was I interceding on behalf of Israel and America? I believe I was, first of all. But at that point, there were multiple visions. And a question seemed to arise constantly. Armageddon. the slaughter of humanity, an atomic war no one wanted, but which no one had the wisdom to avoid. Now, I need to say that to you again, and I want you to listen to it, because this is what I heard. Armageddon, the slaughter of humanity, an atomic war no one wanted, but which no one had the wisdom to avoid. What were we to pray for? For wisdom. And the Spirit of the Lord then, that's when he was showing me this weapon that nobody knows about, or perhaps they are ignoring because it's not. Anyway, it was in this, and Sunil's going to help me in a few minutes now. Just bear with me. But then I heard these words. This is not that time. Armageddon. This is not that time. You can take solace. You can receive peace today. That at this very moment, this is not the time for the slaughter of humanity. Now, you may be saying, well, I'm going to be raptured away and all that. That's fine. But just take this so that you can get an occupational mentality and perspective of your life. We've got things to take care of. And God's put us on this earth for a reason. And at that point, for those that have watched the vision that I had, watched me, I'm in the Spirit, I said, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. The vision of wickedness and impending danger is due to some device hidden in a place unknown to the present intelligence. That's what I have to tell you. And maybe even ignored. In other words, that's not important. This weapon is in a human mind. And the weapon that is in this human mind came to me when I saw some alphabetical letters. I saw some letters. At first, I thought it was A to Z. Now, this is a puzzle to me right now. But God almost said to me, focus on this so that the mystery can be unfolded. The letters were A and Q. That's all I saw. And he said, that's where it's at. Then I saw Russia. I saw Pakistan. And I saw a connection. That's all I saw there. And I remember that, but I didn't say it. That's important for you to take note of. The vision of fire and water. Now, I was absolutely surrounded by evil. And I felt as Daniel did, praying for his people. Now, let me just tell you what Daniel said. He said, while I was praying, the man Gabriel, now remember, Gabriel is one of the most powerful angels, whom I'd seen in the vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly. Now, you think about God and time. Why would God need an angel to move rapidly? Because men have power to control things that happen on the earth because God put man on the earth. So when things happen, they can retard it, they can slow it down, or they can hasten it. And so the angel was caused to fly swiftly. That's what Daniel says. And it reached me about the time of the evening offering. And I want you to get this because it's so few people realize and understand the power of the evening offering. Because he says the angel arrived and got to me about the time of the evening offering. Then I saw this as well. Russia was yielding from her. Now, Russia would yield. Now, I wasn't sure what that meant, but I saw ashes, ashes and ashes. And then suddenly out of the ashes arose a charmer, a man, a serpent in a man with seducing power as I'd not ever seen before. Keep your eye on Russia. Watch what happens. God told me to pray for that. God showed me a leader in the Middle East with a weak eye, full of light, yet hidden for a time to be revealed as a voice of God in the Middle East. A young boy, slightly handicapped, being groomed for presidency in the United States of America. I then saw flashing in front of me fire point Ephesians, that there was so much relief and so much joy and victory and happiness and laughter because of we're free. But I saw fire point again. It was going across it, and I caught a glimpse of it. But it said fire, but it was broken up into 3 sections. Fire point E. Wow. And so if you can write that down, fire point without the E, and then E separately. Remember I spoke about the big breakthrough with a big E. Yes. Never did I realize when I wrote Fire Point, when it first came to me, that it would also mean, it was Fire Point as well, but fire will point to E.
Wow.
It's in your hands. And what hear we from the caves? What hear we? I am in a conversation now of strongholds, of princes. What now? We have wooed, we have flattered, we have seduced, we have seduced, and yet there is a remnant that will not fall for this. What is this light that invades our territory? What are the stars saying? What are the stars of God saying? When they whisper, Yeshua, Yeshua. Is there not enough compromise? Have we not wooed the spiritual leaders and the shepherds enough to shut up? And why do I have a vision of light coming north, south, east, and west? What is this that they say? What say the prophets of today? We have wooed them to look away from the future. And yet there is a remnant that constantly drag themselves into the light of tomorrow and speak it. We have used all of our resources. What now? I have given to you, and now is the time as the heavens have opened. I have given to you favor, says the Lord. I have given to you an authority to trample upon what you just heard, coming from the depths of despair and the dungeons of hell. You have been granted peace. For I have released cherubim, seraphim, and 2 mighty angels to fight and to battle over Persia and over the lakes and the mountains. My people have entered a door you cannot return. Now raise your hands to him. I heard him say, the time has come. The time has come for the nations to know the power of my word and my son. They shall open their hearts. A 5-year period of amazing grace is coming. Grace, grace, grace from the mountains, grace from the towns, grace from the villages, grace from the counties, and grace from the states, and grace from the nations. Grace! 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 Everybody just pray with me.
Something's happening throughout the earth. Wow. Everybody watching me all over the world. God just spoke an amazing, amazing word. And I want you to listen to me, please. The Spirit spoke to me in the early hours of this morning. I was awakened. And He said, there's going to be a turning, a change. Favorable occasions are here. And he said to me, there is a key to unlock the one thing that seems literally impossible. And when we sang that today, it wasn't just a pretty song. Faith can make possible what is impossible for that which is impossible.